Alright, let's talk about sin. Let's talk about crime. And how they relate to morality. And how they give us the idea that mistakes are not lies. They're not trying to rationalize things which are sins. When we try to rationalize something that we know would have devastating and dark aftermath for future generations, when we do this, we throw away morality. We throw away all that makes us good. All the potential that we can achieve, we throw it out. We put a gray area into it where there is no gray area. Now, many of you probably aren't inclined into the scientific, the logical, the fields that help to bring us out of ignorance, educate us, give us clarity. I like science, I like physics, I like technology. But what I don't like is this moral ambiguity, this gray area. I'll give you a prime example. Albert Einstein and all these other physicists and scientists who contributed to producing the atomic bomb. And they have gone down in history as of saying that it was an atrocity, that it was something that they never should have done. But the rationale behind that, Albert Einstein talked about putting in safeguards. But the reason that's completely and utterly untrue is because you can't put safeguards when those who are given permission by the collective, by the people, to utilize such things, to make the laws, the rules, the statutes, and all that other stuff, when they are the most ignorant, when they are the most self-centered, when they are the most materialistic, when they are the most in the minute, in the second of serving themselves and others who want control and power. When money and ownership and control, all these materialistic nonsense, is the tradition, it is the convention that drives them for purely in the minute, in the second, material gratification. Which is why Albert Einstein committed a mortal sin. He accomplished a lot in the scientific field, but his contribution, his rationalizing, which is basically lying to himself and the others that were involved, they committed a mortal sin. They committed a mortal crime. They expunged all of the good that they did in contributing to eliminating ignorance. They expunged it all because with the creation of the nuclear bomb and later on the use, the lie that nuclear power to create electricity and energy, because they never had a solution for how to take care of the waste, and they knew that it would create toxic waste. They knew this. They knew the dangers. They knew that it could bring dark tragedy, but they rationalized. Albert Einstein said he would put safeguards. But you can't have safeguards when you have rampant ignorance, where you have a static tradition and convention. When you have a society of winner takes all, where the top thinks solely in those terms, and the rest are but foot soldiers to bicker, to fight, to struggle, to slavishly give. All of that is ignorance. All of that contributes to this idea of gray. All of that contributes to now where we know, many of us know and admit that we have managed to destroy ourselves with climate change. And each generation that came before us have been indoctrinated, have been fed this lie, have been brainwashed, have been shackled emotionally, mentally, physically. We have sold them into slavery and bondage. We have created the monstrosity of ignorance, which wipes out right and wrong, which gives a opaqueness to morality, a cloudy gray area which does not exist. I have heard from our so-called thinkers and media talking about how selfishness is a part of life. And these thinkers that say humanity is flawed. And while those things are true, it is because we have created ignorance. Even with all of our advances, it is nothing but unthinking, selfish consumerism without thinking about the consequences. When the science and thinking is out there about how ignorance is the catalyst, the downfall and destruction of us all collectively, and how those effects are translated because of that, so that we bring the wider natural world into a universal demise. This is something we all universally must condemn ourselves. We must admit the truth that we have participated, because through this conventional, traditional ways, when we talk about depression, despondency, despair, and all that, it is something we contributed to. It's something that we have infused the generations, the young generations that come. This insanity the knowledge is out there. Intelligence is one where the mind, the emotion, and body works together. It is the culmination of mental and emotional and physical maturity. The spirit, which allows us to see, which allows us to say, that is wrong. We shouldn't do this. We should find other avenues. We should consider. It is the very thing which I talk about with despondency, despair, depression, which brings this. I'm going to show you my room. This is what it contributes in the most extreme way. And unfortunately, there are many, many, many who are coming to this. But I still do videos on it. I still talk about it. Why? Because I'm constantly working on it. Because I'm constantly thinking about it. But this is a physical manifestation of what a society based on convention and tradition of not thinking in clear terms of right and wrong, of wanting to look forward and want to think beyond. This is the physical manifestation of the breakdown of the mental and emotional and physical spirit. That all of this, that is what so many, it is a despondency. And it happens to many of us. It has killed our spiritualism, our dreams. There are no dreams. We are puppets on a string until we break the convention, the tradition, until we start seeing through the lies, the deception, that is what we all need. We must say to ourselves, admit to ourselves, until that time comes, we shall march forward into the oblivion, into the abyss, to our extinction. And the values we profess will be all meaningless without clarity.